There's a trap over there, 150 yards from that cage. We broke clays at 140 yards. It took some doing, but we thought we'd set up something a little...
That is a long way.
We usually work back from the target. How about we work into this one? What kind of gap are we going to start with?
Big one. This is the first day, really, where we've actually had decent weather, or half decent weather. It's a bit breezy, but it's nice, it's dry. It's as still as it's going to get for the next 2 days. Bought the right cartridges this time, which is handy. So we've gone Hull Hydra wads,
which pattern very densely.
We know they're very good. And from the good guys at
Teague,
earplug for all the fans there.
Litterberg.
Yeah, guys at Teague have knocked up some specialist Hydra wad extreme chokes for me. So these are literally built to put the tightest pattern of shot as we possibly can at distance. So this is going to be like my high pheasant kind of go-to setup. We haven't lasered it from the hedge. This side of the hedge has got to be, 80, what do you reckon, 80 odd?
90 probably.
Do we start the other side of the hedge, get a couple of range finders? No, right, okay.
Hero shot and then move in. Go on, have 5 shots each at this range. Let's see what happens.
Okay, my self-esteem is very limited, as you well know, so this could just push me over the edge to a bit of self-confidence.
We're rigged up with ShotKams. We should see it at that range.
The biggest problem you're going to find first is
hitting it.
Hitting it.
Oh, come on. Bang. Oh, it broke. With that. Go on then.
No, I assist.
Don't know, I put 2 shells in.
Yeah,
more luck.
Maybe a little bit more luck if you can.
I mean, we are looking for a pellet to connect in a tiny fraction of a second.
Whichever way you do this, whoever does it, this is one pellet at a point in time. Yes, you've got to shoot to the right space, but you have to have an enormous portion of luck on your side here, because that is a long way. It looks sensible, for as sensible as a 150-yard dropping target's going to look.
I remember you saying when we were planning this that it would look a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
It does. When you said earlier on about 170, 180, and I said,
if you can see it.
You can see why, I think, now. I would go double it, and for what it's worth, don't start over the top of it.
Oh, I was having a play.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work the perfect thing done 3 times before.
I think that's a better strategy. Your rusted in quarter choke.
Maybe the 2 shots isn't a bad shout. Doubles the chance.
Double the amount of lead. Yeah. Can we do it my way and start a little bit closer?
Oh, you really want to go all the way to the
I want to go to the hedge line where it at least looks half breakable, and then we can start stretching it back.
I mean, that still looks
Still, that just puts in perspective how far away that is.
I said 100, I mean, it's 120 yards.
Yeah, it's still probably 120 from here.
I've seen you break crosses like that first time out the bank. This should be easier.
Yes!
Is this like boxing that I win your world championship title?
I think you've just given me a convincing licking round the ring. First one wasn't far off, but you still need to go more.
Daydreaming about my success. Oh, that looked good.
Right, come on.
Okay,
It's still a big bird. Oh.
Nice shot. That's a good delay even from here to there.
I was doing too much with it. Well, that's blown my mind because I just opened right up on them.
It surprises you that we're, what, 85, 90 yards away from that target?
I think the thing is, it's the right bird to break at distance because of its speed, because obviously the spin on it's going to help it rip apart when you do hit it. On the other side of it, accelerating down as fast as it is, combined with a massive distance, to the target, it's going to be a big lead.
So you'd rather a looper?
No. I think if you said you've got to break a target at 150 yards, what would you choose to do it on? I'd have this over a crow, because a crow's got no spin. It's going to come in and float in, and a floaty clay at distance harder to break. You want something under power. A Batu's going to be doing too much variability. At least you can see face on this, and it's establishing a reasonably good line.
And with a powdered clay, a pellet in the packet of powder at least shows
But having said that, it's still a very, very tough target. For me, I opened right up on those two. You still need to keep going. I'd go another 5 or 6 foot on top of what you've just done. Yep.
That's a huge gap.
It is, isn't it?
Because we're 90 yards from it, it's probably why. But as we discussed in the past, those dropping targets are difficult. Regulating a gap is much harder than on a
that's accelerating on the way down, obviously quite hard, because it's not a sort of a floating target coming in like that. It's edge on, so it's spinning and cutting down into the ground. My argument or my reasoning for shooting it like that is because if it's spinning faster, it's going to have more centrifugal energy when you hit it and it rips itself apart.
But you need every piece of luck.
Yeah, because when you start getting out to the mental distances, that will be probably what makes the difference between hearing a ping and seeing the target break, which is why I tend to not shoot stuff, the real long stuff, at the top. I want to see it picking up a little bit of speed so it rips it apart. The twofold problem we seem to be having at the minute is it's closer to 6 o'clock than 7.
Yeah, and the gap I'm seeing on that.
Yeah, it's a big space, but you just look like you're slightly up.
Down to the side.
Half an hour at.
Top.
Not enough. This is kind of the problem when you do chop and change around with stuff. Is
the perception of lead is suddenly very different.
The cause and effect. So if you shoot it like you shot it with an almost static gun, holding down,
it's monstrous.
It's huge. It's always going to be a big gap, but just walking back to probably
55, 60 yards away.
Then shooting that with pull away, I was probably only putting 5 or 6 foot on, and as I got back there, sort of 7, 8-ish.
But you've got a proper fast gun out of the target.
But then as you start getting further away, obviously it gets a little harder to control. So 2 more from here, have a few shots red, then I'll say, let's go back. Gives anybody any sort of confidence or lack thereof, there are times when it doesn't work and you've kind of got to try some different stuff, because what I thought was going to work there has quite clearly not, and I've got to try and find why it's not working and where it is, because it's going to be a pretty boring video otherwise, isn't it?
I mean, I'm finding it endlessly entertaining.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably the best day's filming for you've ever had.
I mean, like I said, I've never seen you miss this many times in a row, mate.
Yeah, no, I've excelled myself there.
I like it when you're the most successful shooter I know. Like, you're unbelievably good to watch. You're a cool dude, and you can shoot well. Those are 2 things that don't go together. To watch you be a cool dude who can't hit anything is amazing.
I have ironed my shirt and everything, so I'm looking a bit sharper. Obviously, that's detracted from the talent factor today.
Actually, look, it does curl it back in at the end.
I think it's too much.
You did a little flick at the end on that a second.
Yeah, can't be more.
Nice shot.
Miles too much with it, man. Maybe starting over there at that big distance and just going mental on the gaps, just blowing my...
So you're saying it's Johnny's fault?
Yeah, if anyone's fault here, it's definitely not me.
Ed, shake off the last hour of your life. Imagine it just didn't happen. Imagine this is the first time you've...
I will remember this for some time.
As will I, but we're not going to bring it up all the time.
Yeah, this is like a bad. This is like a suppressed memory from like an overly familiar PE teacher or something.
Or an overly familiar YouTube shooting coach.
Yeah.
Yes. Double the list distance, double the lead.
All things being equal, I guess so. Yeah. If not slightly more, because the shot at this sort of real extended range is going to start
deceleration
slowing
isn't
down.
constant. It's
Distance is usually the least important factor when you're looking at lead for a target. It's normally angle and speed.
150 yards is a different gradient.
Yeah, I think we're outside of the realms of normality here in many respects. So yeah, it's going to be a big gap, and the delay, if it breaks, will be enormous. It will be. It's probably going to be close to a couple of seconds, I reckon.
Do you want some incentivization?
Yeah.
If you don't hit this, you know that I've beat you.
I already know that. And that burns me. A little part of me is dying inside.
I mean, it's hard to judge any
everything.
gap, just a big gap.
30, 35 foot, slightly left. I can tell you what I'm giving it at the moment, it's not right.
You're hoping for a super dense shot cloud there,
yeah? Yeah, I thought, well, why not send 34 grams twice?
Any advice?
I would say whatever I think, don't do it.
Nowhere near. Oh,
it was fast. I mean, that's a thing.
Well, as you said, if you haven't hit it, you might as well try something else.
Do something different.
I mean, I haven't hit it after 8 shots. It's impossible. Must be impossible. Okay, I wasn't even looking.
But I'm pretty sure you just took a chunk out of that.
Basically shot at the floor whilst it was at his peak.
I can't confirm, but I'm pretty certain that took a piece out of it.
I mean, I think even on a ShotKam, that's asking an awful lot to see anything out there.
What a delay that was, and that's on camera.
Right, I'm glad that you're back.
That's made me feel marginally better about the absolute show at 100. So it doesn't record long enough after the shot.
Capture it. Well, it's all done on gun closing. You know, there's a mode you can go into and set it up to be for the sort of stuff we do. And you clearly don't have it in that mode.
Yes, we've got it, we've got it, we've got it.
Yes. Well, you're on the wrong shot, sir.
No, it's just you got such a long delay.
So what we've learnt in this video is absolutely nothing other than Ed can have a bad day, which means you probably can too.
At 150 yards, the consistency is just obviously not going to be there.
Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.